The question often gets asked, what can AI do for my business? And the framing of that question comes at it from a tool standpoint rather than a process and problem solving standpoint. And the right framing is important if you're going to benefit from AI within your organization. So, in this video, I'm going to show you the different mindsets and the different ways to look at how you can adopt AI within your organization. So, what are the wrong questions? What AI are you selling? What tool are you selling? What product are you selling? How can AI help my business? Now, those sound reasonable until you look at how AI is actually adopted within organizations and how the organizations that are benefiting from this wonderful tool are actually implementing and deploying these things in their daily use in real life rather than demos. So, the idea is you need to start from a broken process, and typically the more forward thinking organizations will start with a discovery and then have an AI assessment. The AI assessment is there to look at the overall organization and how the different departments work together, all the processes within all the departments, the edge cases, the nuances within each one, stick them together and then see where things are breaking. So if an email comes in, how is that handled? Does somebody have to look at the inbox every single hour or every half hour and then respond? Do different people respond in different ways? What is the tone and the language of your organization? How do you want to handle a client that sends an email as well as a WhatsApp message, as well as an SMS message? So these are all business processes, and AI doesn't quite sit there all on its own. It has to work and interact with other things. And in some cases, AI may not actually be the solution that you're looking for. The solution you're looking for may just be to fix the processes and get everything working seamlessly in a way that's understandable by all the people within your organization. So you want to be steering away from the tools trap. So, as an example, we have a client who wanted a chatbot, but before looking at the chatbot, there are other things to consider, and the client hadn't considered these things. They just felt a chatbot would solve all my problems. Just put it on a website. So, firstly, the chatbot doesn't really understand what's happening behind the scenes. You need to think about the conversation and how you want clients to interact with your business. What is the greeting? What options are you giving to them? Are you going to lock down the questions and lock down the options that they can select, or are you going to make it free text? If you make it free text, how do you want the AI to handle what it receives? If it's a positive tone or a negative sentiment, how do you want that to be processed? And what direction do you want that conversation to be headed in? Now, some implementations of the chatbot might say if the tone is aggressive or negative, route them to a human being really quickly. Otherwise, just take them through your typical journey, your onboarding journey until you get them till the end. So those are different conversations and different decisions that the AI can make independently, but you need to brief it on what it should be doing. So through that, we detected multiple strands of a potential conversation, and these are things that humans do instinctively. But if you're going to have AI do it and uh, handle your clients at volume, then you need to make sure that these processes are in place and correct. And then the ultimate aim is that you want each conversation to be recorded and tracked and applied to the correct client. And how do you do that? You do that by having something at the end, like a CRM or a spreadsheet or Google Doc or something that is usable by people other than just yourself and AI has access to. So the better way to start is to review your business and how things stick together or how things work together. So do you really have an AI problem? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe the problem you have is the process, as I've mentioned. As an example, some businesses, like a property sourcing business that approached us for some assistance, they get inputs from so many different sources. So they get WhatsApp messages, and people in the WhatsApp group send messages asking to be provided with detailed information on property that they've sourced. They get phone calls, they get emails, they get different emails with email threads, emails with PDF attachments, online forms, Instagram, social media, all these things are different sources of information. And with AI or the right tool in place, you can make sure that the voice remains the same across all those touch points. But if you just say, I want a chatbot or I just want AI, you're not solving that problem because you may not have a problem. You might be able to handle the volume yourself. But typically, with this organization, they have a lot of volume. They have a HubSpot CRM and nothing integrated. And if a client sends a WhatsApp message one day and then sends an email the following day, they don't have that integrated and plugged in together. So the idea is you do that assessment, you work out all the processes, and you work out what needs to come in, what's the input, what needs to be processed in the middle, and what the output should be. So somebody asks me for an email writing AI. Okay, what do you want the email to sound like? What is the corporate tone? What is the language that should be used? What are other things that should be taken into consideration when you're writing an email? So typically, the issue isn't really the email itself. The issue is, what do I want the behavior to be? So if an email comes in, is it dependent on the time of day when the email arrives? Should we wait till the morning to respond, or do you want somebody to respond straight away? And what are the examples that you have of the perfect use of the email writing service? So the issue with demos and just asking a question that's tool related rather than your processing and your actual business is that when you look at the demo, is usually perfect. The email is correct, the language is correct, the syntax is correct, the punctuation is correct, and all of the information you want comes in at once. That's the happy path, the best part. That's the easiest thing to automate. But we live in the real world, and in the real world, you have edge cases. You have people who write emails with a different tone, with a different context. They don't provide all the information. You may ask someone for their phone number or some ID, and they send the information across two different emails. How do you plug all those things together and make sure the information is in a form that subsequent systems and subsequent tools can actually access what has been provided? And then you have escalations. Does a human being need to be involved in the entire process? So these are things you need to consider when you are trying to adopt AI within your organization. So it's never perfect. The demo is perfect, but in your real business, you would see edge cases and some nuances that need dealing with. Now, these are 6 questions I'd like you to answer before you get engage any AI expert or any AI specialist. Now, the assumption here is that you've identified the process you want the AI to help with, or AI to replace, or some technology to replace. Because saying AI is you actually diagnosing the problem, where in actual fact, AI may not be the solution. So the 6 questions you want to be asking are: what starts this process? So is the process started by an email, uh, an Instagram DM, a WhatsApp message? Is it started just by a particular time in a day? So like scheduled tasks, you have something that should be running at midnight. So what starts the process? What is the trigger? What information do I need in order to complete this process end to end? Where does this information come from? Is it provided by the client? And do I need to validate that information first? What decisions must be made? This is where AI comes into its own. What decisions need to be made? Do I want AI to make that decision? And how do I handle hallucinations from the AI model? And what usually goes wrong? Because that's what you want to capture. And if something goes wrong, do I want to reprocess that same information? Do I need to reply to the client to say, can you try again? What should I do? Should I push it into a queue where a human being picks it up, or should I have another AI that deals with particular kind of failures or things that go wrong? And then what should happen at the end? Is the end a case of just put this in the CRM and make sure it's attached to the client, and you define what the client is for the AI, or you just want it to a bot, or what do you want to do? Drop it in a spreadsheet or drop it into the CRM? So these are questions you want to answer. So if you've answered these 6 questions before you approach someone as an AI expert or a technology expert, you are more than halfway there to getting extra benefit from the implementation of the solution that they do come up with. And what this also helps you with is it helps you do the analytics of what you've implemented. What does that mean? It means that by answering this question, you'd figure out how many requests come in per second, per month, per day, and how many should be processed. And by doing that, by the end of the implementation, you should be able to say, okay, when we started, we received 10 inputs every single hour. Now, and at that time, we're processing just three. Now we receive 10 and we're processing eight, or we're processing nine correctly without human intervention. So that's a significant scaling of your business and of the customer satisfaction, uh, possibly. So by measuring the return on your investment and what that means to your bottom line, you can tell if your AI implementation has been worth it or not. So your saving could be based on time, it could be based on cost, it could be based on increasing the revenue, it could be based on removing repetitive tasks or things that people get wrong often. So the real value of AI isn't so much oh, is mysteriously going to make us richer. It gives businesses the opportunity to streamline what's actually happening within their organization and to get a better understanding of what should be working or how things should be working. I've often heard it said that the AI assessor, the person coming in to talk about the business and how AI can help, ends up knowing more about the business than the CEO themselves, because the AI assessor needs to understand every single department, every single aspect of what would interact with the AI and where things could possibly go wrong. And with that, you can build things like the AI operating system for your business. You can build your assistant for every single aspect of your business. And you can feed all of that information into a single portal, a single daily brief for you as a CEO, and have it tied to the goals of your business. So this image is showing us what it looks like: inconsistent attempts at handling the customer information, siloed information, errors, and things being really slow. But with the right automation in place or the right AI, things can be streamlined and plotted in a predictable way. And that's what it's really about: making sure that people within your organization understand what happens from the beginning to the end and have it all mapped out. So, where do you start this week? Where should you start? First thing is, don't ask how can AI help my business. Your business is a big entity, is huge, and is your baby. But you want to ask, what are we doing manually that's repetitive and messy? What can I streamline? Where am I losing interest or losing the will to continue with this business? And that's where you want AI, you want automation, you want some solution, from technology solution that would work 24/7, increase your revenue, increase your throughput, increase the customer satisfaction, respond to your clients straight away, and then you map it before you automate anything. So if there's anything you've heard today that would be of interest to you, do feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Uwa Ujam, and I'll be sure to help you out. So I'm the CEO and founder of Autori. We have been helping businesses save hundreds of thousands of pounds a year and improve their businesses through chatbots, voice agents, and through automations and different solutions that we've built. Even reorganizing a website and rebuilding websites, we've done it all. So do feel free to reach out if there's anything you need assistance with. Until next time, keep building.